Are we live? Are we live? Welcome to the God Awful News. I'm sorry the news isn't very good. I wish it were better. Someday, if we all live long enough, it should be better, you know? I'm trying to find my notes for today, and all the notes are starting to look the same because they're all now. Many of them are about the same stories. There's new bad stories that this horrible regime, this authoritarian regime, is producing. Like they just did an executive order making it allowable to beat children in school. Corporal punishments back. Woo! Good job, Republicans. You guys are so cool. Don't mind me. I'm anesthetizing myself. Aloha, John. Good. Can't believe the stock market was up this week. Makes no sense. No sense. All you hear, if you're watching the business news and watching the numbers and hearing mainstream news, there's no ships in the harbors, and the stock market goes up. Like, oh my God. How does that make any sense? Anyway, I don't think it's going to be for very long. Yeah, I'm with you on that, my friend. Yeah, I am just waiting. I mean, I think it, at the very least, probably just belongs around 35,000. If you just account for all the constriction, restriction, reduction, disruption, oh God, and all the pain and suffering, my God, I am literally, takes me a couple times to go to sleep. I go to sleep and then I have some freaking horrible dream about being at a freaking detention center somewhere. Yeah, it was cool. But they just demonetized it. I guess they finally found the music in there. So I don't know if, because it said it was monetized. So I was really curious to see how, 4,000 views in a day would pay. Aloha, Tam. Thanks for all your support. And so, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Oh God. So, yeah, and then what else? Yeah, I forget what I'm. I had a really big safety meeting before this. Oh, I'm so distraught. I lost my ID yesterday. Which in today's world, if you don't have your ID, you go into a gulag. So, I went to the DMV and got a new ID. It wasn't as hard as I was. I was so anxious about it. Looking for it, I was anxious. Anyway, so that happened. Anyway, but it wasn't very hard. I got a temporary ID. I'm all excited. Woohoo! Because I gotta. Today, I need to get a passport. I need a second kind of ID. Anyway, and you know what's interesting? Look, these are Faraday cage bags. In case I think they're ever coming after me because I have my opinions, I can just put my phones. I don't have to ditch my phones. I just put them in these $19.99. I got like 4, big one. Look, this is hopefully the last purchase I ever make. Look at all these. Supposedly, these will hide your devices, right? Make it so they can't track you, even if you've agreed to all sorts of stuff. So, but like $20 on Amazon. So, last thing I'll ever buy on Amazon, I hope. Anyway, and yeah, we just keep seeing, and there's a new story about a poor father in I don't know, Brooklyn or New York somewhere. I think his son wasn't who they were looking for. They were like, it's all right, grab him anyway. Totally legal resident, working his way through the process. 19-year-old, young kid, good kid, works full time. They just snatched him off the street in February, and then they sent him to El Salvador. This guy's perfect 19-year-old son. It's just so brutal. That was on Democracy Now! With Amy Goodman. Brutal. Um, and yeah, on all the different fronts, they're going after judges as much as they can, discrediting them, lying at every turn. Trump just had this big, disgusting, weird meeting where he has everyone in the room compliment him. Oh, it is just, I mean, you should not eat before you watch that. It is so gross. And Pam Bondi and the lies she spews. She is so dumb. She must be inspiring so many people to go to law school. If she can do it, anybody can. Aloha. Oh my God. Seriously, you know, I'm thinking maybe I should go to law school. Anyway, why should I think that's not doable? If Pam Bondi can do that, oh my God, anybody can. She is so dumb. She's making it rough for all those blondes out there who are smart. Anyway, and then yeah, the everything they're doing, and they floated the idea of wanting to be able to attack judges of every level, including Supreme Court justices. They're just sweeping people up with no due process, sending them off wherever they want. All those people that were sent to freaking CCOT, it was just people. Those people were cannon fodder. They were good kids, bunch of good kids. 90% of them didn't have freaking criminal records of any kind. And those that did, maybe that was like possession of weed. Like, it's brutal. Anyway, it's breaking America's heart. It's giving me bad dreams, man. I'm waking up with chest pains from some bad dream, thinking, oh, slow down your breathing. Oh, geez, that was scary. It's like takes me 2 times going to sleep because of all the shitty news. But I can't stop watching. It's a train wreck in action, and I can't turn my eyes away from it. So they got to have this to do. Again, yeah, I think, so Mike Waltz, the National Security Advisor, has been fired and sent. Both parties are working for an agenda. Yeah, but only one party is working to destroy democracy. So there's no real fair comparison there. Isn't like they're both fighting to protect democracy or women's rights or the environment. What if they're both fighting to protect the air we breathe, right? I don't hear good news when I hear, we're going to deregulate everything. That's great for you. You're not going to be able to drink your water, breathe your air, your food's going to be freaking polluted. Oh my God. They think we think that sounds wonderful when we're deregulating. We're going to get rid of 2 regulations for every 1 regulation we instill. And then what are those regulations going to be? No fair practices. You must do crime. I mean, George Santos, again, he is going to jail, as I've reported, and as you've seen, and that's interesting. They've just rounded up 1,000 people in a few days in Florida. Meanwhile, they lowered the work age so as to make up for the labor shortage they're experiencing and going to continue to experience. And what's gross is how they got all the people that would have been working on whatever, like the ATF would have been working to stop illegal gun trafficking. But no, they're working to round up guys guilty of working 60-hour work weeks. The National Homeland Security, the DEA, they're not working on nothing but rounding up people working 60-hour work weeks, keeping our country running. It is unbelievable how stupid these people are and how harmful everything. And then imagine just for a second, because it's so god-awful, but if you're living your peaceful life, you got a job you're working 60 hours a week at, and you come home, you've got a little space, you've got an identity, you've got food in the fridge, you've got children, a husband, and then you just get snatched and stolen from your life and then thrown in prison because you're guilty of working a 60-hour work week. It is so awful. Yeah, so that's the one thing we can count on, you know, in this news cycle with these treacherous people trying to seize power in every way. It's really disgusting. I mean, America is horrified. What's crazy is there's still people so stupid with an IQ that they just can't break out of the Republican IQ, which is so damn low. These cult members are so sad. They just can't even see that they're in a cult. I mean, it's Jim Jones, it's Charles Manson, and they're just too stupid to realize they're following Lucifer and calling themselves God lovers. Oh my God. Of course, they're still communicating on Signal illegally. Why do they do that? So that it can't be tracked by the National Archives. There's no record of it. No one will ever know what any of these corrupt bastards are saying to each other when they're on Signal. And foreigners can probably tap into that too. Aren't you funny? I love it, you poor people. All right, so yeah, there's the last, they've destroyed every single branch of the government, everything that had any respect. We have no respect in the world anymore, right? We're disrespected by everybody because we're run by a pathological liar, a malignant narcissist sociopath, right? And people were so stupid, they voted for a sociopath. Can you imagine being that stupid? It is so hard to imagine. I can't. I'm so thankful that nobody I know is that stupid. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine, like, oh, yeah. Anyway, so these evil, corrupt bastards are doing crime and harm, rape. The Tate brothers, they let out 1,500 people on the streets to do harm and crime that were all violent criminals, cop killers that smeared their crap on the walls of the Capitol. It is so gross and disheartening. Oh my God. Everybody doesn't like Bill Maher anymore. Nobody likes him. We talked about that. Of course, I mentioned the executive order to be able to beat your kids now. Oh, and they're going to make it even easier. There's another executive that's taking more rights away from us, you know, in the name of immigrants, people that do half as much crime. It's so funny because immigrants do 50% the crime that people like me do, right? Anybody born and raised in America does twice as much crime as immigrants. So every time they speak to that, they are just lying out their teeth. And it is just pretty offensive, you know? Can't wait for that SNL skit when a woman is telling her MAGA husband with his hat and his long beard, you better do what I tell you, or I'm gonna be imagining Pete Buttigieg, that ruggedly handsome Pete Buttigieg tonight when we're making love. I'll be imagining him instead of you or Brad Pitt. That'd be a good SNL skit. Anyway, there are people trying to, they brought impeachment forth. Of course, no Republicans have a spine. They're not gonna try to protect the Constitution, which is being dragged through, is been destroyed already pretty much. They're not gonna let us vote ever again, or if they do, they'll have corrupted that, and they're working on that. Several of the executive orders were made to corrupt the vote, because if it was ever a fair fight, Republicans would always lose, because so far the majority of people aren't that stupid. You know what I mean? Of course, now there's 2,000 more AIDS cases a day. I've reported that. So wear your condoms, because Republicans are spreading disease. We got more than 1,000 cases of measles running rampant through the United States. It's spread into Mexico. We spread it into Canada. And tuberculosis is at its highest level ever, and pertussis is at its highest level. And I promise you, all the other venereal disease is going to be right behind that. Oh gosh, I tell you what. I imagine there's going to be a lot of protests. I can't see anybody giving Israel the benefit of the doubt anymore, right? I mean, they've done so much harm. I mean, it's so weird how when a government like, I bet Trump just, and the joy they have, the joy these Republicans have is they're killing people and just destroying lives everywhere in the world, right? They're murdering 3 million people a year now that they've withdrawn USAID from them. And of course, if Republicans aren't saving any money, somehow they're spending more money than Biden spent this time last year. And they're bringing less money in, of course, because they're not taxing the rich or the corporations, and they're dismantling the IRS, so it's going to be ineffective. It's going to be letting tons of billionaires off the hooks with their taxes, right? And so they're the most fiscally irresponsible. I can't believe they get people to think that they're smart with business. It's the saddest reality. Oh, so much stuff. I tell you what, so many people killed recently in Gaza, and they've cut off all aid. And there's this international court that's just, of course, finding Israel culpable, guilty of all sorts of war crimes and humanitarian crimes, stopping aid from getting in, bombing aid stations, bombing journalists, schools, hospitals. They've destroyed almost every building in Gaza, and they still bomb them every single night. Another 50 people died last night, 50 people the night before that. It is, the whole world is seeing it and going, come on, man. And then now we're bombing the shit. 1,000 drone strikes now in Yemen. We've killed 500 innocent people, and all for Israel, because they're pissed off because they're watching, right, their fellow human beings being annihilated in Palestine. So to protest the annihilation, the genocide, the Houthis are causing some mischief. And how can you blame them? I mean, they're watching genocide, just like you and I are watching genocide. Being against genocide is about the only normal way to really look at that. So, let's see here. And Israel just attacked Syria, and they've also bombed Lebanon, and they're bombing the shit out of Gaza. And God knows how many of those bombs we give them. Hey, Michelle, I just found your channel, Michelle. I'm sorry it took me so long, and I'm a subscriber, and it's all bald eagle's nest. You know, there's this park, Fisherman's Park, on the old Highway 1, right across from the nicest visitor rest area ever. That has an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and that's like right above Baltimore on Highway 1. It's the Conowingo Dam. The Conowingo Dam, and right below that, there's just bald eagles and osprey. Both are, endangered, but there's like 1,000 of them. You just see them everywhere. There's just this one spot, this little Fisherman's Park. Anyway, but yeah, that's hella cool. I'm gonna be watching some more bald eagles. That's coming up on my feed now. Oh man, what is going on? Oh, and then of course we're trying to start wars with everybody, right? We're setting ourselves up to go to war to do drone strikes in Mexico, where we've gotten Panama to capitulate to allowing us to put our military along the Panama Canal, which is really not, I wouldn't trust this government to do that and then not take another step further, right? You give these guys an inch, they'll take a mile, and they're proving that with every turn, right? Let's see, what else? And then, of course, we got the war in Ukraine, and who knows when one will start in Taiwan. President Trump's not going to give a shit about that. And he doesn't give a shit about the Ukrainian people. Oh, I bet Trump, like, and other leaders like Netanyahu, they're like, oh, it's great. If you're a world leader, you can just kill people and get away with it. You know what I mean? Like, because I think they enjoy that. You know, they're so sick But no, you can't normally get away with that in the world where there might be some laws. Although America's rule of law has been destroyed and thwarted, hopefully only temporary. Um, but yeah, and then of course we're threatening, we're posturing, we're just preparing to start bombing Iran because Netanyahu wants to do that too, and so it'll either be them or us, but that's probably going to happen, right? There was just a big explosion at some plant there, and no one knows how it happened, so that's interesting. And all the freaking ports are closing down. The tariffs are the dumbest thing ever. They lack any insight into economic understanding or theory or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, prices are gonna go up. Shelves aren't gonna be. Trump mentioned you might only have two dolls instead of 30. Implying that Christmas is gonna suck this year. Is that what he was campaigning on? Christmas is gonna suck. All that stuff you like to buy for your kids just won't be there. Or if it is, it'll be 3 times as much. It'll be 145% more. Or God knows where. And he has no idea what he's doing day to day. And now everyone's either taking advantage of him or they're just bribing him, right? Who knows what bribes are coming under the table. And then, of course, there's the new avenues of bribery. The executive club, right? I tell you, at least we got each other, John, you know what I mean? And cannabis, and maybe an IPA, and a nice walk in the mountains, swim in a pool or the ocean. God, it's just so hard to not watch the news for me. Especially when it feels like it's, leading up to something I need to be aware of, and everything else. I mean, like, at the very least, for those of you out there fooling around, wear condoms. Guarantee these Republicans are going to spread venereal disease like no one's ever seen. Be like nothing anyone's ever seen before. I love those. Yeah, it'll be the first time anyone's ever went and accomplished anything like that, spreading venereal disease as well as these Republicans. Cheers to you. They're destroying Black history. Got the hillbilly they pulled a bunch of stuff out of the freaking Black History Museum. Let's see. Oh man, there's more and more talk of we got a military parade coming, of course, which is just batshit stupid, and there's more and more talk of, although they've already suspended habeas corpus, right, which is our rights to due process and the constitutional protections that are afforded through the Constitution. That's all already been destroyed. But martial law makes it like that's the last domino. They absolutely don't have to give a damn about anything. I tell you what. You got drunk Pete Hegseth being stupid. I think he's going to be kept in place no matter what, because that's how Trump's going to corrupt the military, through his ineptitude, which is welcomed because that just makes the military more malleable. And then he just keeps firing anybody that disputes anything he says in any way, shape, or form. And so if he gets the military into the streets to whatever, make it so there's martial law, no due process, no elections, he might be getting closer to that, right? Oh man, that's old news. Sharing our war plans. We were sharing our war plans with Elon Musk. Now he's out of the deal. I knew that was going to happen, right? So Elon was always going to be gone, and Trump is going to die, and we need to hold Republicans responsible. It's the Republican Party that are the true evil ones. When we obfuscate it entirely by just assigning everything to Trump, it in a way diffuses the real responsible, guilty people, which are all the other traitors, the 6 Supreme Court justices, the 218 House of Representative traitors, and the 53 senators who are just all Nazi supporting traitors. I can't imagine, like, I oh, I know, thank God. Yeah. How do you ever, I would never want. I used to think they kind of look cool, but I will never, right? Maybe I'll only live another week, but if I live 40 years and ever buy another car, it will definitely not be a Tesla. And I will think it's uncool to own one, or definitely buy one from this point forward. You know, I feel sorry for the people who pay for gas for life, right? They pay like $2,000 to get free gas for life. And so they got a tough one there. I mentioned it before, but it was funny how I asked AI to make a Tesla going over a cliff with the White House on it and an evil clown, overweight evil clown, driving it off the cliff. But AI just went ahead and put graffiti all over the car on its own. I didn't ask it to put any graffiti on it. And there's just graffiti all over that car. And I just thought that was funny. Some sort of response to the world that AI can't figure out. Let's see here. What do we got going? Oh yeah, I mean, God, we are every day getting a little closer to women just losing all their rights and being handmaids, right? The National Medal of Motherhood for having 6 children. Pretty sure that's gonna be mostly white kids they want you to have, as they're exporting. Oh, and then of course we exported kids, you know, that are citizens, and one of them who was stage 4 cancer. I mean, could anything be more cruel, unusually punishing, just truly evil? And these guys, they celebrate it. Every person who ain't white that they're getting out of our country, they're like, woo, that's like a victory, because they're that messed up. They're so racist and so, it's like they got a Klansman in one arm and a guy with a red band, a Nazi, in the other arm. They're walking around with a Klansman and a Nazi, and that's their personality. And whatever those guys agree with is what they want. It's like, that's how they're creating policies. And why? How could there be billionaires that want that? And there's so many other ways to approach the world that are so much better than being a racist Nazi traitor. Who the hell wants to be that? Oh, man. Yeah, everybody hates Elon Musk big time. But he is, and now he's going back to his commercial good work 1 day a week with Doge never existed. It was never a real thing. And now he's stolen everybody's shit, and now everybody hates him. So I could see a world where he has everybody's fucking information, your medical information, your banking information. And now he's so scorned, the 10-year-old, that he decides he wants to hurt people with what he has the power to do it with, and his AI shit. You add AI to all his data and a really mean agenda, and I mean, what is possible? I dare to want to. I wonder if we're going to start hearing, just like now we're hearing about all the people that were swept up illegally, and deported inhumanely. Are we going to start hearing about people's bank accounts being raided? You know, like, as soon as I hear people's bank accounts, someone lost all their money and that'll be reported. They just took it from me. The new IRS or whatever cleared out my account. You know, as soon as I hear that news report, man, there's going to be a run on the bank, and I'm going to be the first one there. I even thought maybe I should just take a portion of my money out, you know, so just in case. Anyway, oh man, it is sad, huh? All this Russian right-wing propaganda out there, and then and then if you haven't seen it, there's this new, it's so embarrassing for them. These right-wing morons, which is why I need to become an influencer, okay? Have you seen these people in the White House? They got a new room. Oh, we decided to make this room for... Shit. I just spilled my beer. I was so animated. I was so excited. This is a live show, folks. This is a live show. It's exciting. It's dangerous. Oh my God, beers are spilled sometimes. All right, luckily I had this cotton t-shirt. It's pretty much handling the business, but I'm gonna need to work on that. Oh, gee whiz. Okay, heck, son of a gun. Let's see. I got one sip. I gotta save one sip. All right. Okay, so, gee whiz. I love it. I don't know if you've heard, but it's a widely accepted fact that that body of water in between Mexico and Florida is called the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, it's just a fact. It's amazing how that evil press secretary just lies about shit. And I love how, like, oh, if the internet says it, then it must be true. And what does she do? She refers to Google. Google Maps says it's the Gulf of America, so it must be true. It's just stupidity on. It's just so stupid. Anyway, but that's what Republicans are. We know that. There's no surprise there. It's what we've all had to suffer from, is the stupidity of the party that has no good purpose. Doesn't need to exist. We'd be so much better off if there was nobody out there fighting against women's health care, the environment, children's safety, guns safety, right? Why would anyone fight against those things? And then they make us all afraid of immigrants that we don't even be afraid of. They just want to work their ass off and have a chance at a roof over their head and a kitchen, a chair, and a fridge. Oh, man. Anyway, Katie Porter's running for governor. I hope she wins. She's doing great. She's super smart, brilliant lady. And I think she's working out. Looks like she's lost a little weight. Unless she's having work done, I think she's working out. Good for her. I think Adam Schiff, I think he's had some work done. His face looks a little suspiciously fancy. I don't see any lines in his forehead. I'm pretty sure he's older than me. See? That's normal right there. That's right. When you don't see that, that's a man having work done, which is weird. That shit, Botox, is food poisoning. They just pasteurize. They cook it, and they shoot it in their head. Oh, yeah, he's 10 years older. There you go. You would think he'd have a line. I was staring at his forehead. There was not one line in his forehead. I'm like, come on, man. But he's a guy running for office, so, you know, he's entitled to be vain. But nevertheless, I mean, come on. Getting plastic surgery as a man. Although I've seen a few old dudes get a facelift. You know, my grandma got a facelift. She was 90. Oh yeah, Hegseth he's just a really messed up person in so many ways. Oh my God, a drunk, a rapist. Jesus, and you know he's still getting drunk all the time. You know he cuts out of the office and puts someone else in charge until the next day when he gets there. And in his makeup studio. I just love it because military men, Pentagon people they're real people. You know, they don't think about wearing makeup coming to work in the Pentagon. And when he did that, it's like, he's the laughingstock of everybody, right? Every real military guy in there. Oh my God. What else? The bribes. Oh, so yeah, there's the executive club. So you can pay $500,000 to gain access to Trump. Just bribes, right? These people that claimed Biden was the crime family, right? And these people still believe these lies. I was just talking to a lady downstairs. Oh, they gotta go after Hunter Biden for all his crimes. He might have got $50,000 a month for sitting on the board of a company. All right, so he sat on the board of a company, made $50,000. He was in the private sector, never worked in government, right? Never worked in Biden's White House or for, anyway. And then there's all these children of Trump who just profited so much, and they all work in the White House and for the White House, while they're just profiting, taking bribes, figuring out how to take more bribes. $5 million to have dinner with them, $500,000 to join the executive club. Oh God. And then now this $2 billion that Abu Dhabi, or some Middle Eastern country, is going to pay him. They're gonna make a payment in Trump coin of $2 billion for some said something, and it just makes no sense, right? But it's just a clear bribe, and it's one way for them to just funnel money, and that's one of the things that's happening with these tariffs, right? Yeah, we're gonna put a tariff on you, and then if you want to call in the back channel, you want to figure out how you can give us some money, let my Trump organization build a hotel in your country, something, who knows, give me something for whatever break I'm going to give you on tariffs, right? You know that shit's going on, because these are the most corrupt, most vile, most criminal, of course, 34-time convicted felon for fraud. And then what does he do? He goes after fraud. Yeah, the most fraudulent person in history goes after fraud. No, what he was doing was installing the Nazi regime, the Project 2025 Nazi Manifesto. The installation of that was called waste, fraud, and abuse. It was just a big diversion. Hey, we're going to call Nazi Manifesto, we're going to call it eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse. And then we're going to start out every conversation with, gee whiz, you want to get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse, don't you? Why wouldn't you want to get rid of waste, fraud, blah, blah, blah. And then all this capitulation. Well, of course, everyone wants to get rid, but there's got to be a better way to do it. No. It's all a diversion, a joke, a distraction, while they're just, well, you're seeing it. I mean, they're destroying everything. They're destroying democracy. They've destroyed the executive branch. They're working at destroying the legislative branch. They have pretty much, almost. There's a few Democrats giving us a little hope there, but they're completely out of power. And then you got the Supreme Court, which is completely corrupt and criminal and taking massive bribes. I mean, these guys take so many, all of them take so many bribes. It is staggering. It's why I need to become an influencer. This is an influencer. I don't take bribes. Russia could offer me all the money in the world, or some Nazi billionaire like Harlan Crow could offer me all the money in the world to start telling you, I think you should become a Nazi. I won't do it. Can you imagine? There are people taking money to tell you to be a Nazi in a bunch of sneaky ways, Epic Times, Jordan Peterson, God, it just goes on and on. All these douchebags, the Candace Owens, the Ben Shapiro, the Crowder, oh God, the Daily Wire. It's all gross and awful. Everything Steve Bannon and that weirdo, the InfoWars douchebag, God. Oh, and the Nazi, the little Fuentes Nazi, who's working now with the douchebag, the InfoWars douchebag. Who's at InfoWars? The little Nazi, Nick Fuentes. Oh, aren't they a good pair? Oh my God, these are the people on the fucking internet? Yeah, that's why I need to become an influencer, because the bar, just about every person passes a bar that's higher than all those people. So I recommend all of you find a way to become influencers, because there's too many dipshit Nazis working against even their own interests. I mean, how about the black people working to destroy black history? Oh my God. Anyway. And yeah, goddamn, I ain't got no beer left. All right, what else is on this piece of paper that's all wet? Woo, I tell you what. I like that. I heard this expression. Nothing but highlights. That's a good. I'm gonna steal that. I gotta do another version of 3-minute news. My teacher said behind me was too cluttered, and I'm thinking, I think it's interesting. But so I'm gonna put something really mundane behind me, so it's just plain Jane, and it's not a distraction. School. All right, school's giving me messages. And then there's just all the horrible people. You know what I mean? There's so many horrible people doing horrible things. Cash Patel, and then all the glee with which they just do all this harm. Tom Homan, Cash Yap, Pam Bondi, Little Dick Johnson, J.D. Vance, Fancy Pants, Majora, Trader Scream, Nancy Mace. Boy, she Cash Yap, still, I've never seen anybody use his name. When will somebody use his name? And when will somebody ask Charlemagne the God, what the hell's up with his name? Why would you name yourself Charlotte? Did your mom name you Charlemagne the God? How come nobody ever brings it up? I don't know. I just don't know. Oh, God. And J.D. Vance. Scary, though, right? Because he's like, maybe, is he scarier than Trump? That's, of course, but he's so unpopular. You got to wonder, what would the cultist Trump brain latch onto next? Who or what? Is it just going to be this sick ideology of wanting to kill people that aren't citizens or that need help somewhere else that you could help, but you don't want to? I mean, my God, it is awful. And now we're just starting to see, all of this unwind, right? All the people are now dying, suffering. They've been deported unlawfully. And it's just going to be one cycle of terror after another. The one guy got let out in Vermont, which was cool, but I bet you they've tried to find some way to lock him up again, right? Because they are just they have such zeal for inflicting pain and harm and sending a message in the process. I mean, it's just horrible. And then they talk about how successful it is because no one wants to come here anymore. Yeah, tourists don't want to come here either. Yeah, people who don't want to work. I mean, oh, and then of course they're going to try to enslave people by the $998 a day they're going to start charging anyone who's an unlawful resident, right? So if you're an immigrant, you're going to be charged $1,000 a day. So in 100 days, if they round you up, they're going to say you owe us $100,000. So you can go to this prison camp and work it off, or we'll send you to El Salvador, right? And then we'll create the labor force because we're creating a shortage in labor force. So how are we going to fill that? I think Republicans' future is just filling it with, people who are in debt to us. And then, of course, they'll be creating laws that allow us to lock people up for debt, which typically isn't a thing, except for, I think, 1 or 2 states. 1 or 2 red, evil states do that. The places where women are slaves if they're pregnant. If you're married and you're pregnant in several red states, it is illegal to leave your husband. Illegal. You cannot get a divorce. No matter how much he's beating the shit out of you, you cannot leave your husband if you are pregnant in, I think, Texas, Arkansas, I don't know, several of these fucking dipshit states. Anyway. So yeah, everyone's giving credit to Trump for the first man-made market crash, and I don't think it's done. We have 360 days left. No, 1,360 days left of pure fear, anxiety, depression, sadness, terror, planes falling out of the sky, people not wanting to travel here, No one in the world respecting us at all. We are just the laughingstock of the world, and pissed off. Like they don't want to do nothing to help us. They're just so like we're so toxic. They're just like China doesn't even. They're not picking up the phone. They're not talking to us. They could care less. They're like, we'll just let them sit on ice and deal with how unpopular what they're doing is when like real soon their shelves are empty. uh, it is just such an ignorance, right? And if you haven't heard it, like the simple analogy, you know, it's like going around and buying gas on a credit card and then buying some food on a credit card and then going to the grocery store on a credit card and then going back to those people saying, you made me a victim. You made me buy your products. I'm a victim. I'm a snowflake Republican victim. He's making too much money from inside trading. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, and then there's all that insider trading stuff, you know, that's just gnarly. But yeah, just imagine blaming everyone else for the shit you buy from them. That's why Republicans are so ignorant, so stupid. It is the saddest shit ever. Like it's as stupid as Republican does on a daily basis, and that's what the news cycle's full of, and it's so brutal. My God. Oh God. Yeah. I'm looking at the TV over here, trying to remember all the most recent news. Oh, Trump saying he thinks he should be Pope, or Lindsey Graham saying he should be Pope or some bullshit. You know, because Trump should be the president of everything because he's so good at it. And then, of course, he's so incompetent and his mind is disintegrating and falling apart. He's made some super big blunders if you haven't seen it. He acted like a jackass. Stephen Smith asked him about Harvard, and he started going on about Harlem. And then tried to connect the two because he was doing the weave. And it was just the most incoherent response ever. And there is dipshit Stephen A. Smith, you know, conservative black guy, supporting the elimination of black history. Good job. I think he's an alien. If you haven't seen it, I showed it. But there is a video out there of Stephen A. Smith with alien eyes, where his eyes flutter in an interview, and they catch it on tape, and this guy makes a video out of it, and it is compelling. Makes you wonder if anyone's an alien. It could be Stephen A. Smith. Boy, is he annoying as shit. He and Skip Bayless, I bet they're both aliens. You know, the biggest assholes. You know, trying to throw us off their scent because they're really aliens. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out a way to explain Stephen A. Smith because he's pretty lame in every way imaginable. My goodness, what is going on? Who even knows? I don't know. Oh God, we just have the dumbest people, and then oh God, see, I would have just spilled another beer right there. Look at that, terrible. Yeah, it's like nothing anyone's ever seen before. It's the greatest decline in the history of declines. Tesla. Oh my God. Yeah. I wonder how low the resale value of used Teslas is going to be. And I wonder how long, you know, acts of anger are going to be perpetrated on the vehicles. I haven't reported on this. A bunch of just, I might have, just horrible people. These Orthodox Jews in New York went after an innocent woman and assaulted her because they thought she might have been at a anti-genocide rally. This guy Ben Gavir, who is a super Nazi Jew of all weird things to be, a openly admitted supporter of genocide, had a big old Trump event at Mar-a-Lago where he was the honored person of the evening at Mar-a-Lago with Trump there, and He is an advocate for exterminating the Palestinians. He is a completely genocidal, murderous thug, and I can't imagine anybody wanting to support that. But of course, the Trump-supporting Orthodox Jews in New York City love the guy, and they're cruel and potentially violent people, like any group of cruel, potentially violent people. God, I wish they'd take their anger and put it towards the white supremacists that want to exterminate them. Anyway, or just how about nobody be mean to each other and give up on all this hate. God, hate is so stupid. I tell you what. Stock market. I just don't get it. I don't expect it to stay out. It's gone up a little bit again, and I just don't know why. But some profit taking, some manipulation. I don't trust any of it. I don't trust any of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if I don't trust banks pretty soon. But man, I watch all this business news, and these people are so freaking. They're so stupid. I have never heard anybody mention the whole punishment that people are wanting to exert on companies that support the Project 2025 Nazi manifesto and the Nazification of our country, right? Like, a lot of people don't want to support that, and they've realized, oh, I shouldn't support companies that support that. And so anybody and everybody, whether it's Joe Rogan, UFC, any of the companies that sat behind him, although it's hard to decouple yourself from Google, and for many people, Amazon as well. Nevertheless, people are punishing, and they're organizing, and they're realizing, and they're learning, and they're using their dollars to fight this fight, and nobody in the business world ever even mentions that, talks about it, considers it a thing. And I'm like, what? When will somebody on one of these networks point out the obvious? Anyway, to that point, Costco thrives because it didn't eliminate its DEI. And it will just, and also everyone is desperate for stocking up because these psychotic, pathological, narcissist, sociopathic Christian nationalists, I hate using the word Christian or nationalists because they're anti-nationalists, and I think they're more like devil worshippers, but we'll call them Christian nationalists just to make them happy. They are looking for Armageddon because that's how they're going to purify the earth. Oh, God. And it just might be that sick. Ziklag Group. I still haven't heard anybody report on Ziklag Group, the freaking evil deep state that is the man behind the curtain and shit. Them, and of course the combination of AI and the abduction of all of our information. And of course we're deporting babies while we're complaining we don't have enough babies. We need to have more babies. And we're deporting them even though they're American citizens. Or we're deporting their parents and leaving them here as orphans. I mean, it is inhumane. It is uncool. It is despicable. And that is what Republicans are each and every day of their lives. Just the worst, worst, worst. And then, of course, Putin is just bombing like mad because he's going to say, oh, yeah, let's have a ceasefire in a week or whatever it is. And in the meantime, I'm just going to keep bombing the shit out of Ukraine now. You know, and so Ukraine keeps getting people killed. More bombs are landing, drone strikes, indiscriminate. And so that's going on, you know, in addition to the massacres in Yemen and the massacres in Gaza. I just heard it said what they want to do is divide the world up. Xi gets Asia, Putin gets Europe, and Trump gets North America, and then Africa and South America are up for grabs. So there's that. I heard that. That's pretty scary, pretty gross. What if that's true? I don't know. I pray not. And there's so many people in this detention center in Seacott. So many, like we're fighting to get one, but we need to get every single one of those people back and give them a chance at life or due process or the opportunity to just go to another country on their own. You know, it's brutal. It's brutal. Of course, you've heard Trump keeps talking about wanting to go for a third term. I don't think he's going to even live that long, but whatever. I pray he doesn't live that long. What would be? I wish I knew. Like it'd be great if he could have that medical emergency right at the time when J.D. Vance won't have enough time to do too much damage. Also, I don't know. But he keeps talking about third term, and it's just gross. That's why he has FDR in his office, the one portrait of someone that's not a Republican, FDR. And why? Because he had 4 terms in office, right? Of course, they're going after Miles Taylor and Chris Krebs, former Republicans. The 2 guys who were high-level guys. One asked to make sure the elections were not rigged, and he said that they weren't. He was honest, so they're going after him, and so on. China continues to make fun of J.D. Vance because he's so easy to make fun of. Him and his weird eyeliner that nobody ever asks him about. When's he gonna explain it, and how? What is his who does his makeup? Everyone wants to know. I tell you what. Elbows up. The elbows up. His Midas Touch is bringing that home. I love seeing the growth of Midas Touch. It gives us a little bit of hope. But how long will it be before they're under attack? Luckily, those guys are lawyers, so that's good. I wish I was. I should start going to law school just to get ready for when they come after me. Not that I'll ever be that important, but nevertheless, I don't trust these guys. And Trump giving a speech to like 1,500 people talking about how AOC and Bernie, they don't have real crowds. They got real crowds, 20, 30,000 people. Holy shit, huge crowds. At least 10, 15, 20, 30,000. I mean, the huge crowds. Trump in this freaking auditorium with maybe 1,500 people watching him saying that shit. I'm embarrassed for him. Oh, and then the other cognitive decline. So there was the thing with Stephen A. Smith asking him about Harvard, and then him talking about Harlem because he's so weird. And then there was the one where he, what did he do? He tried to explain because here's what's going on, right? Whoever photoshopped MS-13 onto the knuckles did a really bad job of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, right? Whoever did that didn't want to take responsibility, didn't want to tell the old man. And so he's in the dark. He doesn't know it was photoshopped, literally. And no one wanted to tell him about that. So he just brings it up. Oh, did you know it said MS-13 on his knuckles? And he just totally believed it because he's so stupid. But also, I don't think anybody wanted to tell him. Nobody wanted to take responsibility for the mistake, which is what they're all about, right? They can't handle admitting they're wrong when they're always wrong. And that's why they are afraid to bring these guys back from El Salvador and wherever else. I mean, they're in Guantanamo Bay. We don't know all the atrocities, all the places they've been taken, and the horror that's been done to people and the families. An old lady who went to high school in Oahu. She's 60 years old, Filipino lady. I think she's been in detention now for like 2 months or something. Just trying to go home from the Philippines. I mean, so yeah, don't travel. If you're not even if you are a bona fide citizen, I wouldn't travel. But man, if you are a green card holder or a naturalized citizen, I would just stay in this country. I would not trust Trump, and then at the border, oh, have a second phone, get a second phone to travel with that has nothing on it that you wouldn't be happy someone having access to. Maybe get Faraday cages. I mean, it's just awful what Republicans are forcing everyone to have to do just to survive. And meanwhile, he's destroying so many lives with all the federal jobs being cut and lost. Oh, and now they're saying we need to hire. If you want to work for, they're hiring for all the jobs they've fired people from. At TSA, the air traffic controllers. They've got these campaigns. Secret Service is hiring. I see advertisements all the time for all these people that are hiring. All places where they just fired people for no reason who were doing a great job. Anyway, I assume one of the tests is if you're going to get hired from here on out, you must pledge your loyalty to the racist Nazi traitor. Which, boy, that's going to set the standard pretty low, right? I mean, only really, really horrible people will want to serve under those conditions. And those will be the people we see in the news. Kidnapping people, illegally abducting them. A judge just came out and said the 1798 Alien Enemies Act is not credibly being used here, and ruled basically against it. So the whole premise by which they've been doing all this harm and crime has just been deemed illegal and wrong. And so we'll see how that affects them. But they are just having too much fun defying court orders, causing harm to people, destroying people's lives, scooping them up, sending them to foreign prisons and if you haven't heard it, it's so goddamn. So not only are we going to send them to El Salvador concentration camps where they will die, but now we want to send them back to Africa. And this is Republican, racist, Nazi, Klansmen, traitors getting what they've been wanting for so long. Send them back to Africa. Oh yeah, you just wait. They're going to try to scoop up every black person, brown skin that they can. The darker, the better to them. Anyone from Africa at all is going to be sent to those detention centers, right? Yeah, Elon, who comes from a racist Nazi daddy, that apartheid childhood. He's like my age. I'm pretty sure I think he's going to die from, ketamine. I don't think he's going to live long doing ketamine at my age. I mean, there's a million things out there trying to kill us in our 50s without doing a drug like ketamine, but I mean, we've seen you take a little too much and you can relax your heart to death. So yeah, I don't see him having a really long lifespan. Oh, and if you haven't seen, it's been reported that not only does he have 14 kids, he might have 100 children. He's been working secretly to just have oodles of children because he needs to populate the world with a whole bunch of guys like him who will all be raised without a father. That's what America needs, a bunch of 100 more fatherless children. So there's that. That's interesting, right? Super soaker. Gross. Oh, that's an image I did not need. Oh, God. Oh. That's like open mic comedy when you can't unhear things, you know? People say it's super soaker. Oh, gross. Because, all you could go to in your mind is, oh, terrible. But, yeah, I'm 100 children. But, I mean, if you're offering the women, I mean, shit. I mean, he could just find runaways. Be like, hey, tell you what, I'll give you $1 million. Have my baby. I'll give you whatever amount a month. And what runaway 18-year-old is not going to be like, okay, that sounds good. I only got to have sex with you once? Okay. Oh, my God. And I hear there was this one video, I didn't see it, about like a Mormon woman orchestrating, a bunch of, oh, God, a harem. Anyway. So that's been in the news. So much weird and bad stuff thanks to these sick and twisted Republican traitors. Oh, and it's so gross to see it normalized in mainstream media. They keep doing weird things, saying things that just don't seem right, because it's just the normalization of all this shit. But of course, Trump will want to put them out of business if they don't talk as if his side has some sort of valid, credible perspective when they're trouncing on the Constitution, murdering, kidnapping people against no due process, violating the Constitution every day. And what about these guys doing the work? I mean, how are they not going to be responsible for their own actions? But then again, what if you're them and you're like, oh, honey, if I'm going to keep this job at the FBI or the DEA, I'm going to have to start rounding people up. And we just had a kid, and, and maybe they make, 120 grand a year. Maybe they're making 10 grand a month. They don't want to give up that job and become poor and unemployed. And so they just, I got to do my job. That's what they want me to do. Unlawfully round these people up, kidnap them, ruin their lives. Like, anyway, I try to understand what kind of human being could even do this work. It's got to be hard to understand for many, because it's just such a inhumane thing. Like, how would someone not say, what if it was me? And how about this woman moves from Virginia to Oklahoma and has her house violently breached in the middle of the night, which, by God, they got to stop rousting people in the middle of the night. How traumatizing. Ugh. And then breaking the door down, no warrant, taking all of these people's possessions, including their life savings, right? And that's what they're doing. They're just stealing people's phones, laptops, life savings, anything valuable, deporting them, knowing they're never going to be able to go home, retrieve their stuff. It's brutal. But these were American citizens, just moved there from Virginia. And she made a really good point in her tear. She's like, what if I had been armed and fought back? They'd all be dead because they shot back at someone breaking into their house. 20 of these agents who were high-paid FBI, DEA, ATF agents, Department of Homeland Security agents, just racist Nazi traitors doing brown shirt Nazi work, SS work, rounding people up, disappearing them, literally killing these people. And of course we're going to see people not complying with any sort of systemic anything, and fighting back because they're going to think, oh, this is to the death. You're killing me if I let you take me. So they're going to start fighting back to the death because that's what they perceive it as, right? And so I imagine there's going to be some crazy shit happening. Now that we absolutely know we can't trust law enforcement to safeguard anyone's rights, we're in a really bad place. And it's scary. And I don't know how every American isn't afraid. These people walking around thinking they're immune to this shit, boy, are they they're misjudging this situation. What the hell you gonna do anyway, huh? Oh, man. Taking $660 million away from school lunches. Good job. Good job, you guys, so that you can give tax breaks to the rich. Oh, so sad. Oh, and then all the criminal freaking shit. The no-bid contracts to Elon Musk. $400 million in Tesla trucks they're going to buy. The UFC training our law enforcement agents. A big contract for a friend, right? Just so much corruption on so many levels in every imaginable way. And the slimy, evil Stephen Miller behind it all. He's really the kid that was just... Oh, and then there's also the story of the $10 million Ron DeSantis stole. And they keep saying maybe that's going to be his quicksand. Maybe he'll get swallowed up in this. I thought if you're a Republican, you could steal all you want and never pay any repercussions. Although George Santos, oh, I tell you what the hell you gonna do? And people keep reflecting on how weird it was watching these women go into space while the world is falling apart. Oh, I tell you what the hell you gonna do anyway? I don't know. I don't know. Try to get some rest. This shit is so freaking sad. Yep, we're all just wondering, when's that martial law gonna come? Oh, and Kilmar's been ordered to be let out, and they won't do it. They're not complying. They're saying no, he belongs there. He's a member of MS-13, and they're just lying to us, and it's just so painful. I tell you, when the builders union, trade union leader spoke up on Kilmar's behalf, it really, I mean, that felt really good to hear. Yeah, but anyway. It's so heartbreaking that we aren't trying to get all these kids back. And you know why we don't want them back? Because if we bring them back, we're going to find out how innocent all of them were, right? Bunch of innocent kids, teenagers, kids who hadn't done anything to anybody. This one kid we're finding out about now who has no tattoos, who was working full time, who's a great kid, 19 years old, was just deported for no reason. He wasn't who they were looking for, but they just decided, oh, he looked suspicious enough. He's Venezuelan, right? Because he was just merely Venezuelan, they swept him up and sent him to this gulag in El Salvador. It is just awful. His father's left behind, super distraught. Both their lives are destroyed. It's brutal. Brutal. Of course, we're going to keep hearing, was 2024 rigged? You know, a lot of evidence to support that. And then this Witkoff guy, who is famous for giving Trump buying him a ham sandwich. He's the guy we sent to deal with Putin, to give Putin whatever he wants. And Witkoff's kid is the one running the corrupt Doge, the meme coin or whatever, safe coin, whatever this weird freaking crypto shit is. I'm never gonna own crypto, never gonna use crypto, never gonna buy crypto. It is toxic, and eventually it'll need to be put in its place because it stands the threat to undermine, you know, national currency, sovereignty, all sorts of shit that's just been kind of overlooked by, a bunch of corrupt Republicans who are looking for each and every way you can possibly steal from that scenario. Oh, God. Anyway, what the hell you gonna do? I don't know, somewhere in here, they're all starting to look the same, all my notes. Oh, gee whiz. Yeah, we got, and then the numbers are coming in. Yeah, but all I hear is everybody in all the financial roles saying, you know, the top dogs, the people with the big perspectives, they're like, I think we got some problems coming. And then the stock market was up today. I don't get that, you know? I tell you what. Oh, God. And all the extra ways they're finding to destroy our constitutional rights, to kidnap people with no reason to kidnap them, no right to kidnap them. And of course, they've already used this against completely innocent people, lots and lots of them. And it should horrify any decent person. But of course, Republicans aren't decent people. They don't give a shit about anyone or anything but themselves. Their family got to America either this generation or last or a couple ago, and now they want to keep everybody out. They don't want them to have the same opportunities here, right? It is so sad, so hypocritical. I have 401k and I worry about that. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna right, and it's too bad you're not in control of it, right? Most people aren't in control of their the way their investments are diversified by a corporation that they work for or whatnot. Um, but yeah, I expect the stock market's gonna take just a couple legs down. I don't know where it's gonna stop, but I don't think it's gotten anywhere near to where it should go, considering what's going on in the world, right? You see people picking your strawberries and your asparagus, they're getting locked up and sent to prisons for working 60 hours a week picking your strawberries, right? The people building your houses, doing the concrete work, building the tall buildings, doing the drywall, landscaping, painting your house, washing your dishes, cooking your food, cleaning your house. All these people are getting rounded up and deported for being guilty of being hard-working family people. It is brutal, making kids into orphans and causing, anyway, it's awful. And I just don't see how that doesn't trickle up to cause all kinds of issues everywhere in the grocery store, price-wise, inflation, the grocery store supply versus demand. And then, of course, there's the stupid tariffs that are putting constraints on supply. All we're hearing in the business news is supply chains are getting disrupted. There's nothing going on at the Long Beach, shipping yard. There's nothing going on in the China shipping yard, and blah, and on about that. And of course, I don't go to Walmart anymore because they supported Project Nazi 2025. And so I don't know what's going on in there. But yeah, supposedly all the shit they sell, which comes from China, which is a lot of it, won't be coming in, right? And if it does, it'll be and they're not dealing with it. They're like, fuck it, we're not even going to deal with you guys. And other countries too. What was it? Oh, Singapore. Singapore has decided they just decided not to even trade with us at all because it's just a pain in the ass. It's too burdensome. The hell with you guys. There's plenty of other people to be trading partners with and to exchange goods with and services. So I think Singapore is just going to completely rule us out. Meyer. And what else? What else crazy shit's going on? A lot of this is from memory. I gotta get down to business and start keeping track of the news better. I got distracted by losing my ID. The big old party there of all this good Maui people who are so full of love and kindness and conscientiousness. They're such good neighborly people, right? So lucky to live where people are neighborly and kind and not stupid enough to be a Republican. 73% of the population here is not stupid enough, has an IQ above Republican. It's so great living in a place where 73% of the population has an IQ above Republican. Yeah, that was cool. And there's a big thing going on at the community college. As soon as I get off here, I'm gonna probably get in the car and in a little while and head over to see. There's something going on at the community college. Maybe I'll go live. As you know, I'm a whore for going live because it's so easy. It's the easiest way to make content because you don't edit anything, and since I don't know how, that's helpful. And you don't got to have any memory or worry about getting cut off because you ran out of memory or so. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. And I went back to that place and cleaned up some more at the Kanaha Pond. And so as a global influencer that I am, I want you to go out there and do something good for your community, something proactive, maybe fill a need that just got fired, at something where something's not being done now, where someone once did something. So yeah, I had fun at that little viewing place at the Kanaha Pond. I've now gone back twice and wiped it down pretty good. And it doesn't smell like it did. And there's no more sticky stuff on the floor. And so that's cool, because I'm cool and I'm setting trends here. And we're influencing people. Go out, Do something good in your community. Cool. Thank you for telling me that, because that's all I need is just a little encouragement. Although it can get me in trouble. I kept dancing for like 10 episodes because you guys encouraged me to, and I shouldn't have been dancing. That was a mistake. So not that dancing per se is a mistake. I might still do that, but it should be just by itself. Should not be confused with the news. Oh, gee whiz. I tell you what. So much bad news. So much god-awful bad news. Oh, man. Yeah, so this war on empathy is just gross. It is literally the one thing that could save the world. If we could just promote empathy, teach empathy to every kid of every religion or no religion in every school, they grow up with just one simple concept, and that is to see others as themselves, to see their pain as their own, and to not want other people's to have pain, because that could be their own, right? It's a real simple. To see other people's joy as their own, to be happy for people when they are happy, right? Empathy is the one thing that could save us all, and it crosses all, philosophies and religions, and it's such a simple, easy concept. So simple a 5-year-old could learn it. You often learn it, it's taught in philosophy classes in college, but empathy is what could save the world. And we have these evil, racist traitors, Nazi racist traitors that are saying that empathy is a sign of weakness. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, they're so depraved, and no one can believe how weird it is that they're happy to be causing all this pain and suffering, the cruelty, which is the point, which is often said and seems to be true, but it's still astonishing, how people could be born and raised and then become so mean and corrupt and evil. And is it just money that's driving all that? Don't they realize that it's better to have a good night's rest than all the money in the world? Sadism. Yeah, there's a good word. I don't use that word very often or much, but that is an appropriate word. Oh, gee shucks. I tell you what. All right. Well, I've got my tablet outside. This is a new thing. I've just wedged my tablet in between some towels, because at the bottom there needs to be space for the cord, right? So it sits on two rolls of towels, and then with that little space, and then I wrap it with a towel, and then push a weight on one side and the battery on the other with the towels underneath. And that's what is making a live video of the ocean view up and down. And I wonder, by the way, the value of going up and down versus sideways. What if I did this up and down? Would it get 10 times more views? Is that one of the ways to trigger more interaction? Do people prefer to be able, because so many people are on their phone, to be able to look at it up and down? I don't know, but yesterday when I ran that thing, came home, and I forgot to put monetization on somehow. It wasn't 3,000 views, and I could have used that being monetized. Oh, what a disappointment. And they don't automatically do it for you. That's one of the hard lessons you learn the hard way as a YouTube content provider. As soon as you're monetized, it takes you a little while to realize, oh, I actually have to go to some button in this other place and click monetize. Otherwise, it doesn't just automatically monetize, which is ridiculous. Anyway, and so it goes. I tell you what, we got President Aryan Nation in there. Oh, and Stephen Miller is that little tick. Oh God, he does this. It's so gross. He's so gross. Oh, so many women have gone gay after looking at him. You only gotta look at him once. Sorry, not there's anything wrong with being gay, okay? Or straight, or whatever your preference. I'm American, so I don't give a shit, right? Real Americans celebrate other people's freedom. I love it if you're free to have purple hair and choose whatever you want to make choices about. And that's what a real American would say. Oh God, these horrible people that want to control everybody else. It ain't a super weirdo, right? Like, God, let gay people be gay. You know, let immigrants be immigrants. My God, they're an asset, not a detriment. Oh, gee whiz. What are you gonna do? I don't know. What's over here? Is there anything useful? Oh man, I'm so glad to get I got a new temporary driver's license. I got another one in the mail, and this one's gonna have long hair. Hey, I almost got Mitch Hedberg hair. You know, because he's my hero, Mitch Hedberg. I've been writing silly little notes on live streams. Hey, have you heard of the new Mitch Hedberg? They said Craig-Bradley's just like Mitch Hedberg. Hoping someone will go, oh, really? Well, maybe I should check that out. Or this guy Red Bar. There's people who have a space where they just criticize comedians. And I'm like, bring the criticism. Watch my material. Because if they like me, they won't have criticisms. They'll have praise. And I'm not afraid. Oh, gee whiz. Oh, and if there's one thing I've had it about, if you've never seen I've Had It, I recommend it. These two ladies are robust. They have robust personalities. And they call it like they see it. They take no shit. But they got the show I've Had It. And of course, the first thing they talk about is the things that I've had it about. Let me tell you what I've had it about. People who talk about somebody who talks about somebody who's talking about whatever. Maybe Russian propaganda, right? There's a whole cottage industry of people who make videos talking about what Joe Rogan is talking about. Who gives a shit? Oh, what a waste of everyone's life. Don't do that. Don't watch those videos. And then, of course, Joe Rogan's talking about what some Nazi racist traitor is saying. And it's just this horrible cycle of everything that's wrong with the world, which is why I am on my way from 5,000 to 5 million subscribers. That's right. As I'm on my path to both self-actualization and global influencer. All right. Oh, yeah, that's... All right, listen, I think I got through some news. I don't know what... I'm going to get back into the news to watch some more horrible stuff, write it down, regurgitate it, and hopefully get other shit done too in life. I do think this is healthy. Because you know what? If I wasn't doing this, I would just be watching all the news all the time going, oh, this is horrible. This is terrifying. Wish I had someone to talk to about it. So y'all feel my need to have someone to talk to about it. Because goddamn, without that, I'd be losing my mind. I tell you what. Anyways, yeah, and then maybe tomorrow there might be at the Ocean Center, there might be another, because every other Saturday was the cycle we were on locally, you know? So, which would have put a protest at tomorrow, right? But May Day happened, so we had to have a big old party yesterday to celebrate the workforce, and but so maybe there'll be, because you know we don't activate quite as well as y'all do on the mainland, and just getting it done once every other week, it seems like a big accomplishment, I think, for some. Nevertheless, there might be another protest tomorrow, so I will have to go there. So thankful I found my ID. You need that for everything, especially when every time I make a turn as a refugee from a town that burned down, everyone's like, I need to see your ID. You're like, this person helping me, this disaster relief case manager, she needs to see ID. When FEMA comes by and inspects my house like once a month, they need to see my ID. I mean, it's just a never-ending, we need to see your ID. And then, of course, if you are an immigrant, you need to have all your papers on you at all times. If you travel, have a second phone with nothing on it. I don't recommend traveling. make sure you stock up. I've talked about that. Honey and toilet paper comes from Canada, honey. Well, in our country, the bees are dying at a massive rate. Although I was noticing Costco's honey comes from Argentina and Brazil, the two brands that and Hawaii. There's some Hawaiian honey, which might be living outside of that destruction of the bee habitat, which probably has something to do with Monsanto and the evil things they do with pesticides and herbicides and genetically modified everything. And so it goes. Love you guys. I don't know what else to tell you, except, I hope you're feeling influenced. Are you feeling influenced? Because I mean to influence you. From 5,000 to 5 million right here on the global All Good Things and All Good Time Network channel. And yes, I can see it. My face is getting fatter because everything down below here is getting fatter. And I got to get in shape. It's do or die. I'm pretty sure I need to get my blood pumping so much that I flush out all the stuff in my veins and in my heart and in my brain. Hey, I wonder if they'll have a surgery someday where they know where all the plastic is going to collect in your brain, and they'll go in there and like scoop out the plastic. I wonder if that's ever going to happen. All right, I got to shut up. Okay, do no harm, do no crime. If you think about doing harm or crime, become the laziest bastard that ever lived, you know? Become so lazy, you just eat cookies and smoke pot and eat more cookies and drink a few beers, not too many, but a few, just enough to get lazy, you know, and then just enjoy your laziness and not doing harm and crime, right? Like, I wish everyone in Washington, all the Republicans, just could be so much lazier. The world would be so much better if they did so much less, because all they do is harm and crime. Take bribes, make bribes, commit felonies, and then rewrite the laws so that when they commit felonies, they can say, it's okay now because we rewrote the rules. Anyway, all right. Love you guys. Talk with you, talk at you soon. Okay, aloha. Have a good evening. Do no harm, do no crime.